Yo, 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 and welcome to Across the Hobby. Guys, today's a great day. It's a great week. Got great news for you. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're ready for a good week of Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate. I'm your host, Adam, and I'm excited to have a little bit of time with you guys this morning to talk about things that happened last week, things that will happen this week in the hobby. Believe it or not, even though it's the week of Thanksgiving, there is a lot of really significant auctions. It's funny because typically around a holiday, you don't want a lot of big auctions. But when we think of Thanksgiving and we think of Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, for a lot of people, it ends up being one of the biggest shopping times of the year. So it's sort of that mix of holiday time and a lot of big time auctions. So, but before we get to that, the great news that I have to share for those of you who have been interested, and I'm grateful to those of you who are, is that the book is live today. The 25 and 25 book finally has a link. You can finally order it. I will put it down below. I never put stuff down below. I'm going to do it this time. So if you want to go check it out, it's $35. Like I promised, we kept it as cheap as we possibly could. We are not making very much money on each of the books, but that's because we had awesome sponsors who were willing to support us so that we could produce the book. And so we're not making money on the selling a bunch of them. We're able to make this happen because of our sponsors. So thank you guys for being willing to do that. But let's get to it, because there are a massive number of awesome auctions this week. But first, as always, I want to show you guys a few sales from last week that really caught my eye. I want to talk about one here at MC Sports Cards. And the reason that I caught this Andrew Toney was not because I was looking for an Andrew Toney, but because I have this sorted. You can see up here, I have all of the this is all of the over $5,000 listings at MC Sports Cards that sold in the last week. And I want to show you this Andrew Toney because it jumped out at me. I was like, oh my goodness, an Andrew Toney autograph is worth over 10 grand. And my first thought was, I guess I didn't realize that Andrew Toney wasn't around anymore. He must have passed away. So I actually went and I searched it. Oh, it's not up here anymore. I thought it still was, but here it is. Andrew Toney is still very much alive and well. So why isn't Andrew Toney rookie card selling for so much? Andrew Toney rookie autograph. So then I said, well, I wonder if we check the pop report. I wonder if Andrew Toney is one of the rarest cards in the set. And as you scroll down and pay particular attention to this column over here, the total column. Okay. As you scroll through, what you're going to find that is really interesting. You can see Larry Bird has 212 signed copies. Maurice Cheeks, 55, 79 for Michael Cooper, 157 for Terry Cummings, 286 for Clyde Drexler. You always have to add these three numbers together to get the total. Patrick Ewing's at 329. See, it's actually a lot of these are like well into the three figures. Even Michael Jordan's got over 100 of them. But if you come all the way down here, okay, to Andrew Toney, 19. Guys, Andrew Toney's the rarest in the set. And so this is one of those that I wish I would have done a story on before it went. I didn't know, and my guess is the vast majority of you didn't know, Andrew Toney is the rarest autographed 1986 Flair card. And it's not because he passed away close to 1986. He must just be a really tough signer, because a lot of people know who Andrew Toney is, and there's very few of these in existence, and they're apparently worth a lot of money. So kind of cool. The other thing that really stood out to me as I looked through MC Sports Cards, big sale from last week. So check this out. This is super interesting. If you come down to the monthly auction, you can see on November 17th, this card right here sold for $47,600, and then on November 20th, it's selling again. I shouldn't say The thing that I'm going to tell you what I believe is going on here. Come on over to Card Ladder. I searched Michael Jordan sign of the times before this episode started. Look at this. They both show a sale for $47,600. So why would this happen? What is happening here? Well, I can't say for sure. I don't know for sure. But my guess is, this is just a guess, my guess is that the first person to buy it said, I don't want it. And there was somebody else who said, hey, I am willing to buy this for this price. And MC listed it, sold it. That's how it happens. Sadly, what we have happen on eBay sometimes, and again, I could be wrong about this. There could be something else I don't know there. I didn't talk to Mike or anybody else over there before I jumped into this. But what does happen sometimes on eBay is somebody bids on an item and then they say, "Oh, I'm not going to pay." That happens everywhere, but it happens more on eBay than it does in other places. At least that's my understanding. So I had a time where I sold a big John Morant card over at an MC auction. And I've sold a lot of stuff at MC. The card was not paid for, and Mike called me and said, "Sorry, this isn't going to get paid for, man. It was a zero feedbacker. It's somebody who's just chilling the card." And I said, "Will you just list it for the same price that it sold for?" And he said, "Sure." And it didn't sell, but a couple of days later, somebody made an offer that was lower. And he said, "Would you be willing to take this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I still sold the card, was still able to move it. But sometimes you put a card at auction and then that auction doesn't get paid for, and you still have to have a remedy, a way to figure out like how to get the card sold. Because a lot of times, if you're like me, you're selling the card because you need the cash. So I wonder if that's what happened here. I'm not exactly sure, but that's definitely one thing to notice. Scroll down and see if there's anything else that we want to just hit real quick. Oh, this Steph Curry is interesting. Sold for $26,700 because the same card sold not in the same condition. It's a different card, but one of the other 30 copies of this sold in a higher grade right before the auction. So you got to wonder if it had an effect on it. All right, and if we come over to hoodies collectibles real quick, we'll see another one of the real significant sales last week. The Yao Ming right here sold for $38,201. I was going to pull this up beforehand, but I did not. I did a story on this that I will show you briefly. I think is super interesting. If you look on my profile at the Real 27 guy, you will find this story right here. Almost there. Where did it go? I must have gone right past it. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Check this out. 58,890 is what it sold for on September 11th. And here we are, not just over 2 months later, sold for about $20,000, a little bit over $20,000 less. It's the same card. So this is another one of these situations where you just have to ask, what happened here? And I've heard lots of theories. I've heard people saying, that person who paid the $58,000 must have been shilling it, had to pay for it, and then had to, try to go sell it somewhere else. I've heard people say, well, maybe this is a situation where the guy was like, I really need this Yao Ming card, and then he needed to sell it right afterwards. Whatever the reason, whenever you have a high profile card that is recognizable, people see it and go, "Oh, I know, I've seen that before." You're always going to see a big decrease afterwards. I will say this though. I thought this was pretty smart. I had somebody message me and say, "Don't you think $38,000 is still a lot for that?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Is there a chance that they created a false transaction in the first place to resell it immediately and make it look like it's a good deal?" And I thought to myself, yeah, there is absolutely a chance of that. So what the community does when the community sees something like this is they make quick judgments. Well, this is what happened, or this is what happened. I can't tell what happened. And I don't think anyone can unless they know the person who was involved. I'd like to think, and I genuinely do think that it's that people aren't playing games, but I know that does happen. I'd like to think that it was a situation where somebody bought the card and then was like, shoot, you know what? I need to get money for something else. And they just were willing to take a loss, not knowing what it would sell for the second time. But we've all had that moment where you buy something and then you have to sell it quick, or a lot of us have at least had that moment before. Really an interesting sell at hoodies, the $38,200 on that. Again, I think it's a great sell. Almost $8,000 on the LeBron Kaboom. It was raw. $11,000 on the Anthony Edwards right here. And then One Piece stuff I don't know anything about, but it's obviously doing really well. All right. And then if Fanatics Collect, we're not going to look at the weekly. I want to just take a minute just to look at the premiere. Obviously, this Tom Brady made huge news. It's the most expensive Tom Brady ever that's not a Contenders rookie. So $660,000 was the most somebody has ever spent for a Tom Brady. And it wasn't on a Prism Gold. It wasn't on a Prism Black. It was on a Kaboom Green. It wasn't even on a first-year Kaboom Green. It was on a 2021 Kaboom Green. So big numbers for the Kaboom Greens. I talked to the buyer right after the auction. He was super stoked. It was more than he wanted to pay, but he knew he had to have it. So that's one that I would say is confirmed purchased. I have not heard of him sending the money yet, but I have no doubt he'll send the money. So The other one that was really interesting to me from an ultra high-end perspective was this Kobe Logo Man. As an owner of a Kobe Logo Man, I was excited to see it. I always feel like I have to share that. By the way, and those of you who watch the show regularly, which I know is the vast majority of you who are watching this, you're probably tired of me saying things like, I own this card. Please know, I don't say it because I want to. I say it because I think it's important when there's a card that's like super similar to something that I own that you guys know, okay, I'm about to talk about something that I have somewhat of an interest in. This card is actually really different than mine, though, in that this is worth what it's worth because of grade. This card's a PSA 10, and it's the only PSA 10 Kobe Logo Man that has ever sold. The last time it sold, in fact, let me show you this because it's really close to this Yao post that I did. The last time that it sold publicly was, check this out, in 2016. So 9 years ago, over 9 years ago, and it sold for $8,000. This is a 57x multiple on an $8,000 purchase. Holy crap, guys. Unbelievable stuff. What's funny is I guarantee you back in August of 2016, I would have been like, that is way too much money. It's not even autographed. That's what my thought would have been. Now I look at it and I say, gosh, it is a Gem 10 of a Logo Man. And if you care about the Gem 10 thing, if that's your variable that really matters to you, along with the Logo Man, you just don't have many other options. I'm not sure if there is another Logo Man Gem 10 in existence. We know that another one has not sold publicly. So super interesting. All right. And then, I'm going the wrong direction. I really, of these first three cards, I'll tell you, my favorite's probably this Luka LeBron. I mean, I love Kobe, so maybe I'd go with that. But I do like this combination here. In the long term, this may be amazing. It may be nothing. Either way, it's $420,000. Probably my favorite card in that, though, was this Kobe, which really rallied at the end. A couple guys were pretty clearly fighting over this, which isn't shocking. To see a Kobe card from the 90s come to auction, it's a 1-of-1, is always a big deal. But from 97, I don't know. It might be the first one that's ever come to auction. I didn't get a chance to look at that, but it's, 97 is the first year of 1-of-1s. So being the first year of 1-of-1s and Kobe being as collected as he is, and there's only 6 1-of-1s for him in that whole first year, it's easy to sort of talk yourself into that and go, oh, I need that card. And I almost did. It wouldn't have mattered if I would have talked myself into it or not, because obviously it sold for a lot of money. Big sell on the Jordan and $360,000 on the Steph. Was really interested to see how this Luka would do. It's the first Luka Logo Man auto to sell in the last few years, other than the one that Secure recently bought, the Flawless RPA, which was like $4.7 million. So this gives us sort of an interesting multiple of rookie to non-rookie, because this one, just like the other one, is game used. It's an autograph. The only thing this one has going for it that the other one doesn't is this one has that number 77 inscription. $348 for this, or $4.7 for the rookie. It depends on how important the rookie year is to you. It depends. But he does not have a lot of Logo Man autographs. Shohei Ohtani with another massive, massive sale. In fact, 2 different sales here over $300,000. This one right here featuring the kanji and regular signature. This one right here being the different image or image variation, but still being numbered to 25. This one sold for around as much as the oranges have been selling for. And I was really interested in that because, the oranges are like, they're both of more iconic poses. This is not as an iconic of a pose, but it is still a card that's well known in the baseball community. It is numbered to 25. It is a low pop card. It is a great looking autograph, $300,000. And then we followed up with another Shohei at $288. Notice we're on line 4. We've gone 12 deep, and we're still well over $200,000. Just a crazy, crazy auction. Triple champ tag here did 162. Shohei blew this card, absolutely blew away the record for other Shohei blues. $156,000. I think the record up until this point was like about half this. A Star MJ rookie autograph, which we will get to a story on that very soon. And then a card, we'll end it here. We'll go in reverse order here. Maybe Chet Holmgren's best card, authenticated by CGC, sold by Fanatics Collect, his Logo Man auto from National Treasures. I'm a big Chet fan. Chet's a great two-way player. He could be a franchise like best player, but he plays for Oklahoma City, where I wonder if he'll always play second or third fiddle. Maybe it doesn't matter because he's going to go win so many championships. It's just like, a no-brainer. I'm not sure. I'd like to see him not be quite so thin. He's already got one championship, and he's what, like 22 years old or something? This LeBron Jordan here is interesting because of the big 23 in the middle. LeBron then signs 23 on the end of his signature here, which he does not normally do. It's one of the few cards from that year he did that on. He basically did it on this and on the Logo Man cards. I think that's really cool because it's like LeBron looking at this card, seeing it's him paired next to MJ. Guarantee LeBron signed first. Like, I'm sure, I shouldn't guarantee. I would guess that he signed first because, see, Jordan didn't sign the number 23. Does that make sense? So, and then the Luka championship tag, to me, as somebody who loves championship tags, this is like both exciting and sort of insane. It's exciting to me because I'm like, okay, yeah, people are really recognizing championship tag autos as being really cool pieces. But like, for me and for a lot of people who I've talked to, you sort of look at a championship tag auto of a guy like Luka and sort of go, that's interesting, but it's sort of, I don't want to paint it in a negative picture, but like Luka does not have a connection to that one Dallas championship. He doesn't. The one represents something that the franchise did before he got there, and he had it on the back of his neck the whole time he was there. And that's a cool thing to represent, like the Mavs have won a championship. But then when you cut up a jersey and you make a card of the player, what the company is doing is they're creating something for that player. Yes, the one tag was on the back of his neck. Yes, it was part of his jersey. Yes, I think they should make a card of it because it's probably the second best known piece of the jersey. But he wasn't part of that championship. I personally, and I think most people feel this way, think the championship tag is so much cooler if the person had something to do with those rings or they've influenced those rings thereafter. The cards that I've bought that I love that have championship tags on them are like that. And again, I think most people feel that way. With that said, it is still a key piece of the jersey. It is still flawless. It is still an autograph, and it's still Luka, and it goes for $132,000. We're gonna, so many six-figure sales, guys. So many. And the last one to look at here, wow, Kobe's gold signature on the Noir tag, second-year Noir tag auto, $102,000. This Wemby not even signed, $108,000. Gem 10. Luka tag auto. This right here gives you some sense of like why this might happen. This tag is just a tag. I don't even know what it's from, but it's a 1 of 1. It's an autograph. It's flawless. $102,000. This one right here, $132,000. Now this one's out of 2. This one's out of 1, but this tag's far more recognizable than this is. Like, you actually know where that tag came from. So if you were to ask me what card would you rather have, this or this, I might take this tag, even though I just sat and told you guys like, hey, I don't understand this. Like, at least this has something really meaningful about it. Like, you know where it came from. This one, I don't. I'd have to look real close. Maybe I could figure it out. Last piece I wanted to share with you guys on Fanatics Collect from last week, and this is really an interesting learning. The Shohei Ohtani BGS 9510 sold for $102,000. But right up here, we've already seen the 1010 graded by PSA for $288,000. And people throw their hands in the air and say, I don't understand it. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand why people say that. But I'll also point out there are so many people in this hobby that say, I just like consistency in my collection. I just really want this to be like the others. I don't want 2 sets where you've got, or a set where you got graded cards from 2 different brands. And I hear people say that. I get it. What if somebody needs their Shoheis all in PSA cases? You might say, well, then buy the 9.5 and cross it. Yeah, but what if they definitely want a 10.10? That sort of thing happens, guys. This is about brand loyalty. This is about wanting to have the PSA 1010. It is kind of amazing that a piece of plastic for 2 cards that are effectively the same condition, at least they appear the same condition to me and pretty much everybody else who I've talked to, it's amazing that one is worth 3 times as much, and especially when that's to the tune of $180-something thousand. We looked at this Jordan Star a lot, $210,000 there. I could keep going. I better get out of this stuff, though, because otherwise I'm just going to talk and talk all day long. All right, let's get out of these that we've already gone into. And we're going to keep Card Ladder open. We're going to keep the PSA app open. We might have to get into, in fact, I'm going to search gem rate right now, just because usually we'll do something with gem rate during this episode. And let's jump in now to all of the biggest cards that are ending tonight. Again, these cards end tonight at MC Sports Cards. MC, for the first time, I believe, ever, is selling not only things that are part of their MC Monday auction, but also regular cards. And so in this case, I didn't know how to just look at the MC Monday items. So what I did is I searched for just things $250 and over. That may pick up some cards that are not in MC Monday. It may exclude cards that are in MC Monday, but it's the best I could do. We start out with a PSA 1 Aaron rookie, 1675, a Pete Crow Armstrong rookie radiating rookies out of Topps Chrome, a PSA 10 is $305, an Ant autograph dual patch out of Obsidian, such a cool looking product, followed up by another Ant. And this is interesting because this is his rookie, number 6 of 10, and this is his Eminence from 2021, so a year following, and the card is just autographed. I'm going to tell you right now, I like this one more, and everybody knows I'm an Eminence fan. I actually have never owned an Eminence card out of first-year Eminence. I collect it because I love first-year stuff. I like the look of this card way better than this one. They're actually the same rarity, and so the question that you have to ask is, how much do you really like those patches? The Obsidian one might be on sticker, too. Either way, it's $1,000 more than the Eminence is right now, but give me the Eminence there for sure. Tiger Woods autograph from 2014 UD Black. Man, UD Black is pretty. That is a cool card. A Steph Curry 1-in-1 from a couple seasons ago. This is a black box 1-of-1, over $1,300. One of the most iconic wrestling cards that you're ever going to see. I can't remember if this one made the survey or not. Might have to buy the 25 and 25 book to find out. I think it did, though. I know that this was one that we discussed being on the survey, but I can't remember if it actually made the final. Either way, it's a very iconic rock card with a great autograph. It was signed kind of a long time ago now. Talking about signed 27 years ago. If you didn't live through the late 90s, WWF and The Rock and Mick Foley, Mankind, the Rock and Sock connection, I mean, that was such an electric era in the history of the WWF. I was not into wrestling for a lot of years, and then there was like a 6-month period right at the end of the 90s where I was like, this is really fun. And part of it was Mick Foley and The Rock. The Rock would grab that mic and stand in the middle of the ring, and it was the best. People liked him and how he carried himself, even more than him as a wrestler. I would say by far more than him as a wrestler. It was definitely something to behold. Willie Mays PSA 10, PSA 2, that would be an amazing PSA 10. That would be a lot of money at $400. The Luka 2022 Immaculate, numbered to his jersey, autograph patch. That's the acetate. All right. Aaron Judge, big autograph patch. Dynasty has grown on me. Maybe it's because I'm preparing for basketball to have Dynasty cards, but that is a beautiful Aaron Judge card. Silver, number 3 of 5. You got to love the holofoil. Why it took so long after Upper Deck really knocked the holofoil window out of the park to get some very similar looking stuff, I don't know. I know there's some cool stuff through the years that Panini did. Panini did some years where they just really got the holofoil right, but this is like the most premium looking holofoil that I've seen on a card since 04 Exquisite. I just think it looks that good. Having said that, actually, the most recent Flawless Basketball is just out of this world too. So, Ant, Cade, and Banchero, Paolo, numbered to 225, $455. That is a triple auto, but it is on a sticker. Still very cool. A LeBron patch out of 2023 Flawless. Okay, another one of my favorite cards of this is one of my favorite cards so far that we've seen. In fact, this is my favorite card that we've seen so far this week. And I want to show it to you guys. I've never owned this card, but I love this card so much. Okay, so Giannis Antetokounmpo, here he is on a 2014 card. What stands out about this one to me? Why do I like it so much? Well, there's a few things. One is I like the image of Giannis, this great black and white, image of him with this awesome signature and this super colorful patch. That's all really cool. You can see that the patch is numbered to 25. That's really cool. It's just the whole thing presents really well. It's graded authentic. Probably means that it was only going to get, a lower end grade. You can look, these edges do have wear. I should mention I have a card from this set. I have a Kobe tag auto from this set. But the edge on mine is this exact same way. Mine graded a BGS 8.5. It's probably a PSA 6. It's similar to this. And I'm guessing that's what's happening here too. Really colorful patch. But what I've really done is I buried the lead. Look at the autograph. Look at the autograph on this card. Giannis started his career with a really long signature. And somewhere in the middle of his rookie year, he's like, forget it. I'm shortening this. Then this product comes out later. And this is a longer version. See how it's like a G and then an A, right? And then a squiggle thing at the end. You take off this long squiggle, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 9 strokes, right? It's not small. You take that off, and that is what Giannis' signature was for at the end of his rookie year. Then he went backwards and went back to this thing, which was amazing. Usually a guy starts his autograph long and then shortens it and never comes back again. But for whatever reason, on this card and maybe one or two others, not very many though, Giannis came back to a longer version of his signature. And this was such a cool card to do it on because it's so good looking. That's my favorite card of the MC Monday so far. Although this Dwayne Wade right after it is freaking awesome. This is not the Superfractor, but in 2005-06 Finest, they made several variations of 1-of-1 cards. Several different parallels. They made like five different Superfractor colors. They made the white Superfractor, gold, green, regular. This is not a super though. This is the white refractor 1-of-1. I can't remember if there's any other 1-of-1 refractors. That might be the only one. Big Doncic Obsidian autograph. A Vinnie Johnson autograph. Why is a Vinnie Johnson autograph $2,000? That is amazing to me. Let's come back to our popper board while it's open. How many Vinnie Johnsons are there? Vinnie Johnson. I should have typed in Vinnie. Vinnie Johnson has 30. It's another really low pop one. Albert King has 25. There's a couple other guys in the 25s. None that are as low as Andrew Toney, but yeah, Vinnie Johnson, $2,000. Julius Erving, PSA 8 rookie. That's jam. Kobe, not shocking to see the Manute Bull for so much money. Obviously, he passed away several years ago. A beloved character in NBA history, absolutely. Let's scroll for a minute more on MC and see if anything else really jumps out to us. As always, they have a huge auction. Again, this is the week of Thanksgiving, but they have a huge auction. Adam Bona, Philadelphia, I think center, is definitely a big guy. 1-of-1 rookie flawless game used RPA. We go on to the second page, $2,700 for a first year gala signature of Kobe. It is a black box 1-of-1. Some people will not like that, but I will tell you, this is a card you don't see very often. So seeing the black box version is at least something. I really like this autograph. Cinematic Signatures is what it's called. First year gala. I might be the only one in the world who cares about it being first year gala, but remember, Gala only made 2 years of product. Somebody pointed this out to me the other day on one of my comments. He said, the thing that you never mentioned about Gala is that it's one of those mid-tier products that actually had autographs on card. And I think that's fair. I think mid-tier is probably a good way to classify it. It's not in the ultra high end, but it's different. It's unique. It stands out. I personally like the Gala logo. I like everything about the cards, but again, I know I'm in the minority. This Dirk, though, holy smokes, this is a beautiful card. In 2017, he was still active, right? That's right. Yes, of course. Of course it was. He was active for this year and one more year. So this is a playing days card. This is really a pretty card, guys. Like, look at this. You've got the hollow foil on either side of the window here, but it obviously goes all the way around. Lots of, layers in the patch. But Dirk's autograph is just masterful. Some people care so much about streak, right? And a guy keeps has a long tail to his autograph, and they care about the streak. I don't even notice it. It doesn't even like come into my mind. This autograph and all of its details, fantastic. And if I say, I'm going to look at it closer to see what other people think, I see the streak and I go, oh, well, maybe they won't like that. But to me, this card is just, if you were, I have a singular really big Dirk Nowitzki card that I'm very happy about in my collection. If I didn't, I would have my eye on this card tonight. Because it does everything I need it to. It's playing days, it's a game-worn patch, it's a beautiful autograph, it comes with a holofoil. It's got everything going for it. And I don't think it's going to sell for crazy, crazy money either. So that'll be fun one to watch. You never know with a 1 of 1, by the way. Don't underbid it and say, oh, Adam said it wasn't going to go for very much. A Tiger Woods game. This was such a big card when it came out. This was probably not as big as his autographed rookie, because the autographed rookie was, part of the base set and everybody knew it was the rookie card. But the thing that people don't realize is that in 2001, we were still trying to figure out whether autographs or game used materials were better. I remember I kid you not, guys. I remember I was in a shop and my friend and I, we were going back and forth. We were opening packs. We weren't like, he was there and I were there. We weren't like great friends, but we knew each other. And within a couple of boxes, he pulled, this is an absolute true story. He pulled an Allen Iverson Autographics. I think it was like horizontal card. This is probably 2000, 2001. It's the same era. And I pulled an Allen Iverson jersey card, like a feel the game jersey card. And I remember he looked at me like, hey, you want to trade? And he was serious. My boss, Jeff, was like, you don't want to do that. You'd rather have the autograph. And he's like, seriously? Like, because the perspective at that point was there had been way more autographs to that point, way more autograph cards than there had been jersey cards. So when a card like this comes out, it's numbered to 100. It's a really neat piece of Tiger game worn stuff or event worn stuff, whatever. And then you have the autographs. This was rarer. It was harder to find a Tiger jersey than it was an autograph. And so I think it'd be interesting to go back and to know what stuff sold for in 2001. I suspect this card may have even been more money than the autograph. Maybe if it wasn't more, and because I might be wrong about that, at least it was significantly closer than it is today. I assure you of that, because these were huge deals back then. To get a Michael Jordan jersey or a Tiger Woods, I mean, it just didn't get any better than that in 2001. All right, Pat Cummings, big autograph, man. Somebody's selling out of a big 86 autograph set. Such an awesome week for MC. I can't believe we're still going 2 pages in. These are only 250 and over cards that are ending today. MC is they are just absolutely crushing it. Big Yao Ming, this gold refractor from 2008 Topps Chrome. I'm going to give this, oh man, I just keep talking. I'm going to give this 1 more minute and then I'm going to be done. Oh, this Bill Russell. I'm glad I stayed for this Bill Russell. Quad patch, numbered 3 of 3 out of 04. Exquisite. So awesome. I got to get to the end here, though. I got to see if there's anything else that's just giant. $8,000 right now on the Cristiano Ronaldo autograph. Holy smokes, MC. It just keeps going. Hold on. There's 2 Yao Ming gold refractors in this auction. Is that true? That's nuts. PSA 8 Wilt 69 Topps. It just keeps going. I'm like, at this point, I'm just scrolling. We're on page 3. Okay. So it goes 3 pages long. Holy crap. So many big items at MC this week, guys. Just absolutely, completely insane. Okay. And now we're going to move on to hoodies, and right out the top, right? The biggest card they have up right now is one that I absolutely have to talk to you guys about. So hoodies has had a lot of stuff lately that has been like, that's different. That's unique. And this is one of those right here. So you can see from the outside, oh, it's a Jordan 86 Flair and it's PSA DNA with an auto that's an 8. Fantastic, right? But you have to look closer here. And so this is a card that I look at and I'm sort of going, all right, is this something that the hobby is going to love? Or is this something the hobby is going to sort of say, it's a personalized autograph. I don't want anything to do with it. Because it basically has 2 things on it that I think are sort of, well, one thing that's obviously amazing and one thing that I think people might not feel so great about. So obviously 86 Flair sticker, everybody knows it. It's graded authentic. And you can see it's a little bit off-centered, side to side. It's 60-40 or 50, maybe even worse than 60-40. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You guys can see it. But then you get to this autograph. Okay. I am going to do a research project this week. Does Michael Jordan have sticker autos that have sold historically that are in ballpoint pen? And I'm not talking about thin markers. I'm talking about straight up ballpoint pen, because that's what this is. And I don't remember ever seeing one before on a sticker. I bid on one a few years ago that was an 86 Fleer on the back. I should have gone after it harder. But I loved it because it was a ballpoint pen autograph. Why I love ballpoint pen? Well, and why do a lot of people like ballpoint pen? The great thing about it is once a person starts with ballpoint pen, there's no chance that they're going to be able to undo that. You get one shot at it. And I always think if somebody was able to perfect a guy's signature and convince PSA that they had gotten the autograph right, if they did it in marker, then if something went wrong, some markers, a lot of markers you can sort of remove. You can't remove ballpoint pen. You're placing pressure on the surface of the cardboard. It's like it's indenting it as you're writing, right? So I personally really like that. I also think it sort of implies that the autograph is much older than the majority of cards that we see today. There's something to how old an autograph is. You can see right here, they say 1986-87 Fleer sticker number 8. And then down below it says rare ballpoint pen playing days autograph. And so the question that I would ask you to ask yourself is, how much do you care about when the autograph was signed? From my perspective, I think that's like everything. Like not everything. I think it's a huge part of it. If Michael Jordan signs an autograph on a card today, or he signed an autograph back 30 something years ago, I'm taking the one that he signed when he was the biggest thing in the world by a mile, by a ton. And on a card like this, it's fantastic. I don't know if he has another ballpoint signature autograph like this. And if he does, it's not many. And to add to it, you have this little note right here that looks like it says TX. Thanks, maybe, possibly thanks. Brent. It looks like it says to Brent. That's what it looks like it says to me. To Brent. Thanks, Brent. Something like that. Now, if we come down here, I want to look at the description. Is there anything else here that's worth noting? Doesn't look like hoodies included anything else other than, what they already did up above. We're left to try to figure out, okay, who is this Brent guy? Does it say thanks, Brent? Does it say to Brent? I'm not sure. What I do know is that I think that autograph's phenomenal. It stays on the card. Obviously, it doesn't quite get to the border. I personally would like to see it get to the border, but it's easy to see. It's far easier to see than the regular 86 Fleer card is. So thanks, Brent. Michael Jordan signed in his playing days, and the autograph is graded an 8 by PSA. What's that worth? How does the community think about it? It's interesting. Super interesting. Okay, let's go back to hoodies. $8,800 currently for an 8, $6,400 for a 7, and then another really interesting card. Kevin Durant signed this back in 2012, 2013 for Flawless, making it the first product ever made. And so this is Kevin Durant's first autograph patch out of Flawless. He has a couple others from 2012 Flawless too. This is not his only one. But why is it at $4,000? Because $4,000 is a lot for a KD autograph patch. Well, this one's a PSA 10. That's what we've talked about a lot. It's not just a high-end card in some collectors' minds. It's a high-end card at the highest level of the grading scale. Meanwhile, this card down here, which personally I like more, really interesting. 2016 vertical 2-color, but probably most people would argue a better patch with the Warriors, also a PSA 10, $3,700. I say I like it more. I think it's pretty even. There's fewer of this one, though. We're thinking about Donovan Clingan, autographed rookie, PSA 10, gold prism. Really like clinging, and not shocking to see it selling there at Hoodies. They're in Oregon. They get a lot of the big stuff from Oregon. And that's going to be it for Hoodies this week. Okay, now let's move to Alt. We're going to take just a minute on Alt, look at the cards that are at the highest part of their auction. We're going to start out with this one that I have heard a lot of people talking about. Okay, I am not going to claim to be an expert on telling whether an autograph is real. That's not me. That's not what I do. I don't do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm good at listening to what other people who are trusted in the industry say. Now, a lot of people will look at a card like this and they'll say, okay, it's authenticated by PSA. We're good to go. And that's how it should be, right? But unfortunately, sometimes authenticators make mistakes. I cannot say one way or the other whether the autograph on this card is real or not. I can't say. PSA has authenticated it. I believe it's still in PSA's system. Let's confirm that that's true. Let me do that over here on my other screen and then pull it up. But I want to double check this before we keep looking. So on the PSA cert verification, 655-65940. When I do that, is it still in it's still in here? There's a great image of it. It shows, I can show it to you guys real quick, but it says there it's a pop 2 with 5 higher. Okay. And I've seen Alt talk about it too. But I have multiple friends, multiple people who I know well in the hobby who have talked about this card, who have said this is a very well-known fake autograph. They don't believe that the autograph's real. Do I know that? I do not know that. PSA has certified it as real. PSA has not taken it down. But there are a lot of people who are saying this isn't real. They need to fix it. Meanwhile, it's at $253,000 plus buyer's premium and ends Thursday. So it's a big story. Whatever they do, people will scrutinize. It has been viewed an incredible 134,000 times. That is a bafflingly high number. An incredible number. Guys, 134,000 views. Oh my goodness. Okay, another card that requires some conversation. You guys know, even if you've just been listening to this episode, you know I love tag autographs, right? Okay, let's talk about this one for a second. Okay, this card has the number, what appears to be the number 9 on it, but if you look real careful, that championship trophy that's in the background is actually upside down, right? This is the number 6. This is a mistake by Panini. It was a big mistake. They managed to take the championship tag off of the back of the Golden State Warriors jersey when it was a 6, turn it around and make it a 9. Even if you can't see that the championship tag right here is upside down, you know that Steph Curry that the Warriors have not won 9 championships. Right now, Steph's tag still says the number 7 on it. So that was a mistake by Flawless. But Steph signed the card. It does skip a little bit at the end of his autograph. Beckett still gave it a 10. It's got everything else going for it, though. It's from Flawless. It's from one of the few years where they had the number 6, right? Steph got there when they had the number 3. They've won 4 over. They had 3, but they didn't make the first tag auto until Steph had already been in the league for 5 years. They started making him in 2014. And he got into the league in 2009. Then they win one. They have the Durant years, and after the Durant years, they'd won 6. And there's a few years in there where they had that number 6 until they won number 7 without Durant. So awesome card. It's just that's upside down. So worth watching. And as somebody who owns a Steph tag autograph, I will definitely be watching that one. Okay, Steph PSA 10. Wow, PSA 10 Chrome Refractor. I've talked about this at length in the past. I will just say the same thing that I always say on this one very briefly, and that is that Steph Curry's Chrome Refractor, I think, if you're just going to talk about plain Jane refractors, not golds or anything like that, I think Steph's is easily the best ever. And people are immediately going to say, what about Kobe or what about LeBron? It's so much better than LeBron's. It's not even close. Because LeBron, there's so many more of them. This card's numbered to 500, but based on all the grading, information. I think fewer than 500 actually ended up getting out. I think it's probably a number closer to like 300. I don't know that for sure. That's just my sense. Like, go look at how many have been graded compared to other cards that are serial numbered and what you would expect. It's just so low. So, and that's also why I think the Superfractor's never been found. I think it was probably destroyed by Topps. I think that they had the issues with the license. They weren't able to sell it all. They had to get rid of some of it and they destroyed it. That's just a guess. It's just a guess. I could be wrong. So here it is at $71,000, but in a PSA 10, it is so incredibly rare, guys. It's like pop 20 something. Yeah, pop 29. It's just amazing. The Kobe is the only one that's close to it, and the Kobe, most of them have turned green. So, all right, a whole bunch more big stuff at all. I had one more thing that I wanted to mention here. I can't remember what it was, though. Maybe the Paul George autograph logo, man. No, that wasn't it. Big Steph here, number to 31. Another one, two of them number to 31, both selling at the same time. Gosh, that is really interesting. There were two that just sold at MC, and they were different copies. 4 copies of that card selling that quick is super interesting. LeBron first year Kaboom. I can't remember what it was. It's gone. Oh, it was this Jordan. BGS 9 on the O2 Finest. I love this card. This is the rarest Michael Jordan refractor ever made. There's only 25 of them. And it's a BGS 9, so you might get a little bit of a deal. There's a lot of 9.5s out there on that one, so people might view that as like a little bit lesser of a grade. All right, let's go now to Golden, where we're going to look at the biggest cards ending this week at the Elite Sports Auction. Kind of going a little long on this episode. Although Golden is the biggest auction of the week happening around the hobby, I'm not going to take that long on it. All right. Here's his orange refractor to 25, his gold to 50, both in 9.5 holders. I saw Golden did some really cool content on this. The Kobe 2017 Eminence all-time bucket set, complete set. You've always got to watch complete sets, guys. A lot of times they sell for way too cheap. Ooh, Steph Kaboom Gold from 2018. I have a very good friend who has a BGS 9.5. I wonder if this is his copy. That's a big card, guys. That is a big, big card because it's not just a Steph Kaboom. It's his first gold. Okay, I'm going to look something up real quick for you guys. Here, hold on one sec. I'll be back. Okay, I wanted to look this Curry up real quick on Beckett's website. I'll show you why. So when you come to Beckett and you type in Curry Gold Kaboom, you get 22 responses. But the reason for that is that gold is in the word Golden State. So these are all of the Curry Kabooms ever in all of their different forms. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here at this website and this page, and I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to look for the number 10. See, this is a 1. It's a Father's Day card. This is number 1, another Father's Day card. Number 98, totally different card. Then you've got 2022's Crown Royale number to 10. So that's 1. Wait, why didn't we see a 2018? Why is there no 2018? I don't get it because we know there's one from 2018. Let's keep going. Maybe it'll pop up. Here's one from 2022. That's the one we already saw. Here's one from 2023. Here's one for 2024. 2018. It's because it's a not just a basketball set. It's because it's a multi-sport set, so it comes last. Are there only 4 Curry Gold Kabooms ever? 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, there are only 4 Steph Curry Gold Kabooms ever. Go check Card Ladder and all the historical prices to ensure that that's right. But I believe that's the case. I believe my search is picking up all that and I'm not missing anything. There are 4 ever. This card's number 4 of 10, which is the Steph Olympic number. Most people probably do not care about that. I care about that because my biggest Steph is a number 4 of 10 card. When this card was made, I don't even think he'd ever been in the Olympics. He probably didn't even have an international number at this point. Guys, this is a huge card. This is the sort of card I'd love to do a reel for this for Golden. I would love to do it because this is the sort of card that is going to change how people think about this set. I think it's going to sell for a lot. It's already a lot. But I think it's going to sell for a lot. It's the very first Gold Kaboom of Steph Curry. Get excited for that one, guys. All right, there is so much stuff. What time is it? 49 minutes in. Let's take a few more minutes on here. So Shohei PSA 10 blue out of 150. Again, one recently Fanatics collected, just blew it out of the water. MJ credentials, MJ gold, StarQuest, MJ star, MJ sign of the times, dual LeBron, another big gold kaboom. Kobe. Oh, this is a really cool Kobe. I love this card with the tag. Let's see if we can get it to open here in a sec. Sometimes golden's a little bit tougher for me in this format. This is the sort of auction you guys definitely want to look all the way through, for sure. We won't be able to do that. I wish we had time to do that. Man, this Maxi autograph logo man at $27,000. Let's do one more page. See if anything really jumps out at us. Great, such a great auction. Okay, let's look back here. 2009 Timeless Treasures. Not the most popular brand, but look at this. This is from the laundry tag, but I love how it's used here. Feels like more than a laundry tag. It's a moment where you've got a game-used piece. I shouldn't use the word moment there. That's not the right word. It is a card where you have the game-used piece from the jersey. This is off of the laundry tag, but it's from the team. And it's signed 1 of 1. And his autograph's phenomenal. The brand is fine. It's not National Treasures, but like Timeless Treasures was a great product. I love this card. This is going to be one of my favorite cards at the Golden auction. Now I'm going to take you guys to the Heritage auction. Okay. Heritage's auction this week, absolutely huge. It's the reason that I say that it's huge, though. It's not Heritage's typical like crazy auction where you got like the big 6-figure items and stuff. It's huge for you to look at because it's one where stuff can fall through the cracks a little bit. There's a total of 1,400 cards in the auction. The biggest card right now is an altered 52 mantle. It's a really good looking altered 52 mantle that you can see immediately is too thin, too narrow. You've got a PSA 5, Willie Mays, and then my favorite card, probably the whole auction. This Jordan autograph from '87 is phenomenal. I love that black signature on that card. That's just a wonderful card. But this is the sort of Heritage auction where you might miss something because you might not have known that it was happening. And I always like to hit those auctions on Across the Hobby. Honus Wagner, Tip Top Bread. Card looks just like the T206. A Kobe / MJ dual East-West refractor. Lots of big stuff. Lots of big cool cards. So make sure you check out Heritage this week. Absolutely. Otherwise, you might miss out on stuff. See, I've been scrolling for a while, though, and I'm still well into the thousands. Still big cards like the Scottie Pippen grand finale for those of you 90s basketball guys. That's just in here amongst all the other great stuff. A Red Grange 2, a Ruth, a 49 Satch. Like lots of big cards. Really beat up. I thought it was a T206, but it's not because it's Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth cut card, maybe. So lots of stuff to look at in here. Great big auction. And then let's take a minute to look at Fanatics Collect. So Fanatics' auction ending this Sunday. You start out with a Messi 9, Jordan UD3 court commemoratives. That's one of Jordan's earliest autographs. A Tom Brady autograph piece of ball from the Super Bowl. Still incredible that they got that. A Drake May Kaboom Gold, a Tim Duncan Rose Zero Legacy in PSA 10 condition, a Kobe 2012 Silver. Was that Silver a 10? Okay, now check this out. I saw this in preparation for this episode, and I was like, what? So somehow, Fanatics Collect has 2 different Steph Curry PSA 10 rookies up in the same auction. And you might say, well, that's not a big deal. Like it's a fairly common card, right? This is kind of shocking to me that these 2 cards are in the same auction. So I haven't done this yet, but I want to go look at Card Ladder. Check this out, guys. If we type in Curry, oh my goodness. If we type in Curry 2009 tops and we go PSA 10, hit submit, and we go date sold. We had one sell. This says it's a here's the problem. Because the card was made in 2009-10, it shows all of these. So let's sort out all of those. Let's just look at cards that are $5,000 and over. And we're going to get rid of, when we do that, all of the 8s, 9s, and cards that are lower. We hit 5,000 or higher. We see Topps Chrome, Topps Gold, Chrome, Gold. When was the last time that a regular Topps Curry sold in a PSA 10? I just keep scrolling. It was September 7th. It's been 2.5 months since the last one sold. I remember when this one sold. Sold for $12,000 in September. And before that, it was August 18th. So that one was only a few weeks before that. Let's just go for one more minute and see if anything else. So then, this is another one on August 7th. I wonder if that's the same one. So there's a few real quick on August 7th or 17th and 14th. And then there's none until September. And then since September, we have seen zero Steph Curry PSA 10 Topps cards. Zero. We've got a PSA 9 Chrome. We've got a PSA 10 Chrome Refractor. We've got PSA 10 Gold cards. What we do not have is PSA 10 regular plain Jane base cards. And why that's insane is if you look at Fanatics this week, they don't just have one of them. They've got two of them up at the same time. That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. Like, the odds of that happening. I'm not suggesting, by the way, they only should have listed one. Maybe they should have. But that's not what I'm suggesting, because it doesn't feel like a card that they should be limited on how many they sell. Like, it seems like there should, like it doesn't fit that category. But, like, for example, I think you guys probably know this. If more than one person submits a Michael Jordan Fleer 86 Fleer PSA 10, and they both submit it for the same auction, the auction house, Fanatics Collector, they won't sell both of them at the same time. They won't, because one has the chance to hurt each other. Now, the auction houses might both list them at the same time against each other. That happens sometimes, but they don't list them at the same time, for within an individual auction house. So I guess my question is, and I know I've looked this up before, but I don't recall the number, and the number's probably changed. How many, if we just go PSA Pop, let's do this. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking at the population for 2009 Topps Steph cards and in PSA. I think it's 380 or something. Why is it not coming up if I type in Steph? Do I need to type in Stefan? Huh? Why is that not popping up? That's weird. Search function's not working right now. I don't know why it's not working. Sorry, guys. And I know this was going to be this long. I would just have searched. Why is this? I would have just paused it for you guys, but we're almost there. Okay, Steph Curry, yeah. Steph Curry has 371 Topps rookie cards in a PSA 10 grade. One of them has not moved in 2.5 months. Two of them are listed in this same auction. And yeah, to me, that feels pretty insane. There they are. One's at $8,500. One's at $7,750. The one that's the more recent grade in the newer holder is higher. I suspect that will hold. People do want the newer holder. Even though this card's not that old, it's 15, 16 years old, it is graded way before it's graded in the 2s. This one's in the 6s. But yeah, it's a big deal to see that, and how ironic it is that we see a Kobe Chrome PSA 10 right after. Kobe's Chrome is such an interesting card. I've had a chance to look at this one a lot lately. And as I look at it, it's fun to look at the color. Wow, guys. Huh. Guys, this is one of the nicest Kobe Chromes you're ever going to see. It is a PSA 10 with minimal graining. Now, you guys know I struggle a little bit with color because I'm colorblind. Is this part of the leg turning just a little bit? And is there any other green on Kobe? I mean, his arms usually have lots of issues, but not this time. His face looks great. His hands are almost always good. Cherokee Parks, his arm is almost always turning. It's not here. Like, this is one of the nicest Kobe Chrome cards I've ever seen. If there's any greening, it's this little bit on the leg. Just a teeny bit. Maybe. What do you guys think? Is that greening? I think it is. I think it's just a little bit. I think that's one of the nicest Kobe Chrome cards, Kobe Chrome 10s that I've seen. And this makes me want to go to Card Ladder again. Sorry. I just got to do this real fast. So if I go Kobe 1996 Chrome, PSA 10. How long has it been since we've seen a really good? I might not be able to see it from the outside. I probably can't see it from the outside. Like, here's the last one that sold. So this one sold at MC on March 13th. Why won't it let me make this image big? Won't let me make this image big. I don't know why. I guess this is the big version of it, but I need it to be larger than that to really show you guys what I'm doing here. So we're going to hit original listing. We're zooming on this. Okay, so you guys can see immediately, like, the color here is different, right? Look at the leg. Look at the arm, the upper part of the arm. Look at Kobe's arms here. Not so much into the hands, but like Kobe's got lots of greening going on. So we have a very interesting comparison happening this week. Compare that to this one that's up right now, also PSA 10. Compare, the quality of those. And I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to say, to look at them at the end and say, what did the community think? They're both 10s. Let me do a little bit more on this, because some of you might know, but a lot of you might not. Okay. So this card's graded a PSA 10 and this card's graded a PSA 10. We're going to put them right next to each other. They both were graded PSA 10s. So the question that I have for you, and you probably know the answer, but go with me here. Which one of these was greener when the card was graded? The answer is we have no idea. We have no clue. We would guess there's a good chance that this card right here, we would say maybe that card was graded or was green when it was graded. Maybe it wasn't. Sometimes a card can turn green and then can turn green fast. This card was graded quite a while ago. It's in a newer holder. They started with these newer holders literally at about this time that this cert is, right? This is in the 2.6s. So this card may be original to this holder, or this may be a reholder. I can't tell. It may be either way. I wouldn't be shocked either way. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was in the late 2s where we start to see the new holder. I think that's right. I mean, if I'm mistaken there, forgive me for that. What I'm certain of is that this card has a lot of green going on it, and it's still a PSA 10. And so if you were to crack this out of the holder right now and send it right back into PSA 10, what would you get? You would not get a 10. I can assure you of that. This card's not getting anywhere near a 10. This card's going to be lucky if it gets an 8 today. But it was graded at 10. So now here's what's really interesting. What happened if you just reholder the card? Well, if you just reholder the card, PSA's terms of service, basically, is that the card is just going to be reholdered. It's not going to be regraded. So you pay them a bunch of money so that they can put the card in a newer holder. Would you do that in this case? No, you wouldn't do it in this case because it's already in the newest holder possible. I guess if the holder had like a big scratch on it or something like that. But in that case, the card would still be in a PSA 10 holder. They would still grade it as a 10. Kind of interesting, right? So there's this, and then there's this, and just, guys, it's just freaking night and day. It is night and day between these two cards. This card's color is amazing. And other than this little tiny bit that I'm looking at over here on the bottom or on the top of Cherokee Parks' leg, where I think that's turning a little bit, I don't see any other green. Again, use your own eyes. Tell me if I'm crazy. Really an interesting situation, though. And I guess the last point that I'll make on this, what I've been talking about for years on these cards, is will we ever see a real legit eye appeal service that can compare these two things? This is what most of them look like. This is what only a few of them look like. This is one of the nicest copies that I've ever seen of this card. That I've seen at this point, this card. All right, let's go back to Fanatics. It's got 6 days left. It's already at, what is that, $7,800? And how much did this go for? This is already more than the green copy. I mean, I think it'll sell for way more, but like how much is way more? I don't know. It's interesting to look through here though. Like look at these cards and say, okay, like how green is this card? Pretty green. How green is this card? Huh. That one's tougher for me. That one's tougher. Let me look at it one more time. It's also really small for me. It looks like it definitely has some stuff going on in his arm and in his leg. I need to look at Kobe closer, and this is a small enough image that it's tough for me. Color blindness is weird, guys. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's go back to 1996 Topps Chrome. We already did that. We could keep going on Fanatics Collect. What page am I on? I think I'm still on the first page. Let me scroll down here a little bit and see if anything else really jumps out right away. Steph's 2012 Innovation Stained Glass is an interesting card. It is a Pop 3. I saw the Wharf talking about this Kobe Black that they have up. This, and he's right, at this point was the rarest chrome refractor that had ever been produced. In 2003, they made another card to 50. That was the Gold Refractor rookie card. But then 2004, they made the Super Refractor, which is the first time they made a really, really, really rare parallel. First time they made something rarer than this. Tiger Woods autographed employee exclusive. That's a really interesting piece. Big time Kobe refractor right here at PSA 10. Really low pop. Part of the run. Did that say Pop 13? Yeah. You'll want to watch this one this week. This one's tough because it's got the poor centering. 2018 is the last year where you have to worry about color issues a little bit. I think that's right. I think. Okay, let's do page 2, and we got to get out of here. Kept you guys too long. Trying to keep these episodes a little bit shorter. Just have so much stuff going on. Okay. Let's see. Steph PSA 8. Caitlin Clark NTRPA out of the rookie royalty. I wonder at what point where they'll. Yep. They've already done it. I was going to say, I wonder what point they'll give up on the rookie royalty. This does not mention rookie royalty right here. That's the product it came out of, but instead they just call it National Treasures, which is probably the right thing. That's what people are searching it as at this point. The Bowman Blue out of 1948. Remember, all Bowman rookies of Steph Curry are numbered. It's a big time piece. Kobe credentials. LeBron James Jr., Bronny James Jr., gold. What is this? LeBron. Oh, it's just a refractor. It doesn't look like a refractor. It looks different. I wonder why it looks different to me. Okay, we're going to call it there for Fanatics Collect. And the last thing that I want to look at with you guys before we get out of here is the first page of Card Hobby. Every week, you've got to look at Card Hobby, especially if you're doing the big autograph patch cards. Some of the best deals out there are on Card Hobby, guys. They are. You've just got to take the time. I always want to give you guys a taste of it. So if we hit auction and then we sort by highest price, you're going to see lots of big cards. But look at this. There's 230,000 items. A Luka. See, this is a huge piece, guys. This is Luka's. We're going to look at that one real quick. Got to look at that Luka. I want to look at this Klay Thompson. See if there's maybe one or two more cards I want to look at. Katie Gold, Kaboom. This Jalen Brunson's too gorgeous not to look at. A USA auto of Kobe. You don't see those every day. A lot of big stuff. Okay, we're going to finish with these 3 items. Luka's Silo, or his silhouette, numbered to 25. This is the patch or the prime variation. That's a rookie card. What's a rookie parallel? It's the higher version of the rookie parallel with the autograph. Huge piece. This Klay is awesome. The autograph almost hits the 1/1, just misses it. The big holography Nike symbol. Clay did not have a lot of stuff like this for a long time. And just over the last couple of years, we've started to see them. It's interesting. I think he was playing for Dallas at this point already, but he was still signing cards in a Warrior uniform. And then this Jalen Brunson. Oh, my goodness. Remember earlier I said how like some of the recent flawless stuff is some of the nicest looking patch autos ever. The holo foil here still doesn't, the stuff around the window still doesn't remind me of that 04 Exquisite that's so nice. It does a little bit, I guess, but it's not etched. I wish it was etched. I wish it was a little bit thicker, but like this is basically a perfect basketball card. The patch quality is fantastic. The holo foil around the window is fantastic. And throughout the card, it is glorious. I don't know there's a better Jalen Brunson Knicks card as far as aesthetics go. It's just a great card. Guys, happy Thanksgiving. If you haven't ordered the 25 and 25 book already, and you have any interest, if you want to go put it out on your, in your office at work, like have something that you point to and be like, this is a more professional thing than you might normally see for cards. I think you'll like it. We tried to make it as cool as it can be. Go give it a review. Go, grab one. Like I said, it's $35. Link's going to be down below. Check that out. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for following. Thanks for doing all that stuff. And until next time, happy collecting.